Wasabi Wallet. Unfairly private.
What's going on, guys? I'm here in Miami after wrapping up at the Bitcoin 2021 conference where I got to meet a ton of awesome Bitcoiners. I also got to ask you guys what you thought about a variety of different topics. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I am Ben with the BTC Sessions. This is your daily session.
Hodl the Bitcoin.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
LEDN.io boasts a number of awesome Bitcoin services. Of course, they have their Bitcoin-backed loans where you can use your Bitcoin as collateral to get Canadian or US dollar loans into your bank account within 24 hours. They have Bitcoin and USDC savings accounts with interest rates of up to 11% annually paid monthly. And they have their B2X offering, which uses Bitcoin-backed loans to instantly buy you more Bitcoin. You can check them out in the links down below. And if you click that link and opt to use either of their loan products, they will give you $25 for free into your savings account. If you are buying Bitcoin in Canada and both security and ease of use are top of mind, then you have to check out Bitbuy. These guys have been around since 2016. They were the first in Canada to get a full proof of reserves audit. They're also the only company in Canada to offer full one-to-one Bitcoin insurance through their partners Knox Custody. These guys have a web interface and a convenient mobile app for both iOS and Android so that you can stack sats on the go. Click the link in the show notes below to check them out. And if you use that link after your first $250 purchase, they will give you $20 for free. The Kobo Vault has gone through a rebrand and is now known as Keystone. It is the same awesome team and the same excellent product with some added improvements. Of course, as always, easy, sign what you see, QR codes via air-gapped mode. Of course, they have a secure element and Bitcoin-only firmware with interoperability with all my favorite wallets like Electrum, Blue Wallet, Spectre, Sparrow, Wasabi, and the list goes on. This thing is fantastic. And hey, SD card now on the outside, so be sure to check them out. If you're a former Kobo Vault owner, be sure to reach out to them because if you're looking to upgrade, they have some deals in store for you. Links are down below. If you are backing up any important Bitcoin wallet, you need to get your seed phrase in solid steel on the BillFodl. This helps insulate you against fire damage, water damage, or just accidentally throwing the damn thing out, as can commonly happen with a piece of paper if you're not careful. BillFodl gives you that peace of mind and you can store your seed phrase securely and safely. This is how I back up all of my important Bitcoin wallets. Check them out. Links are down below. Whether you're living on Bitcoin like me or just exercising a little high time preference, an excellent place to do it is Bitrefill, where they have all of the gift cards you could possibly imagine, and you can pay with Bitcoin, either on-chain or via the Lightning Network. Again, I mean it, you guys. These guys have absolutely everything you could possibly imagine, and they're available in just an insane number of countries. You really got to see it to believe it. Head over, check them out. Also, you earn sats back as you shop, and they've got a killer referral program. Links are in the show notes.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
My question to you is, why should Bitcoiners run a node?
Because Bitcoin is enforced at the level of the individual, so it's not democratic. It is anarcho-capitalist, like to the core. So you enforce Bitcoin, not somebody else.
I don't know, it's just so you can see what's really going on, right? You can check your transactions, you can see where it's coming from, where it's going to, and it just, helps the integrity of what we're doing altogether, I guess.
Very good question. We have to enforce the rules that we have all agreed upon, what consensus is. Running the node is very important to maintain those agreements between users and between economic users and activities and companies. It's very important, like as you see in this last soft fork activation with SegWit, nodes played an important role, so you see how important they are.
it's important that you run a node, because that basically means you're still not trusting and verifying, like totally verifying. It's like literally at your house. I run a node. I think a lot of people have started running nodes. It's initially going to look, pretty complicated, because you're going to be like, oh, what is this stuff? Where do I put this? All this. But I guess nowadays it's becoming much easier. In fact, there's something called Umbrel. There are other things, but I have something called Umbrel. You guys should consider getting that. And in fact, Ben has a video on that, which I actually recommended before, but I'm going to do it again, because seriously, everyone should consider running their own node. Once you start doing it, it's much easier to actually understand why you should run your own node.
You should run your own node for self-sovereignty. You're validating your own transactions, and that way you're not trusting someone else. Don't trust, verify.
Bitcoiners should run a node so they can exercise the sovereignty of the network. If you're relying on another company or another individual to verify the transactions for you, it's a lot easier, but you're missing the point. You're not engaging in the experiment.
Yeah, the better the most decentralized the chain can be, the best for security and for all the reasons of this permissionless network. So that's why.
Running a node is I found this recently. It's the ultimate form of decentralization. I don't have to trust or see any blockchain explorer. I can verify my transactions from my node, and once you start reading what the block size war was about, running a full node will make sense. Like, try running a full ETH node, try running a full Bcash node. Like, it's the barrier to entry, right? Like, so once you figure that out, you understand why decentralization matters and why Bitcoin is stuck to the small size block. So a lot of things will make sense once you start running a node. And on top of that, I highly recommend exploring Lightning Network. It's the technology that's going to be used on top of Bitcoin going forward. So be it Lightning or Liquid or anything. So yeah, I highly recommend getting your hands dirty. Yeah.
Why should you run a node? Because there are two ways to entice, or I don't want to say entice. There are two ways to communicate with divinity. You can either do it directly by praying, or you can ask a priest to go and handle the god for you, and because you don't really speak the language directly. Running a Bitcoin node is how you interface directly with the Bitcoin network. It's losing the translator and speaking the language directly yourself. And you don't really know what's going on unless you do that. You're relying on a trusted entity to provide information for you. If you think you have Bitcoin and there isn't a node that you run and verify for yourself that's telling you that you have the Bitcoin you think you have, you don't really know, you're just trusting a third party.
I feel like you need to run a node if you want to call yourself a Bitcoiner, because Bitcoin is about freedom, and the only way we can achieve that freedom is if we can verify the supply of Bitcoin in a node, and you have access to that, which is amazing. You don't have to ask anyone for permission or trust anyone to see if that information is right. A node is super important if you want to participate in the protocol and actually call yourself a Bitcoiner.
Oh gosh, financial sovereignty. Like, we want to own our own network, our money, a system that operates outside of any centralized entity. You got to run your own node. You have to keep the system decentralized, and if you run your own node, you are part of running the network.
Running a node is critically important to really understand what makes Bitcoin decentralized. Not everyone can code, not everyone can run a mining operation, but you know for a fact that you are contributing to Bitcoin's decentralization by validating your own transactions.
Why should Bitcoiners run a node? Well, the answer behind why Bitcoiners should run a node would be that, like, the participation rate is inherently tied into the security. So the more people are running a node and paying attention to what's going on the network, adds to that overall security, like, protocol that keeps your investment safe. If you are a Bitcoiner and you have an investment in Bitcoin and you want the Bitcoin thesis to work out, the best case scenario for that thesis to work out is more and more adoption of people running nodes. So yeah, like protect your investment, be part of it.
If you believe in the idea of decentralization, then it's imperative that you run a node. Because without decentralization, you have no Bitcoin.
Bitcoiners should run a node because, one, you can connect to the Bitcoin network directly. This means that you have no trusted third party in which to propagate your transaction through. This is critically important because you don't have to worry about anyone censoring or blocking your transaction from going through. Number two is for privacy reasons, kind of for number one as well, like they kind of combine together. With privacy, by connecting to the Bitcoin network directly, you maintain the best privacy possible. Otherwise, a wallet app might log your transactions, and along with other types of metadata, like if they have your GPS location or your address. So this way you maintain the best privacy possible when using Bitcoin.
Because if you want to be truly decentralized, you want to take ownership of the network, you run your own node.
Bitcoiners should run a node, not only because it's being part of the community, but it's giving more validation to the transactions that are taking place. Therefore, you might as well be plugged in if you're going to be part of it.
It verifies all of the transactions, and the whole ethos of Bitcoin is don't trust, verify. And running a node gives you the ability to actually verify yourself.
It's the ultimate sovereignty. You're your own bank. You control your money, you control your destiny.
Running a node is your ability to communicate in Bitcoin to everyone else in the world. If you don't have a node, you're trusting someone else's node. And beyond a privacy concern, it's a security concern because you don't know if you really received Bitcoin, and you don't know if someone you've sent Bitcoin really got it unless you have a node to verify all of that.
Because if you're serious about having your money private and not trusting a third party, why trust a third party with your wallet when you can have the node for yourself?
Because you're buying Bitcoin, you might as well protect the network while you're at it and learn some cool stuff. Umbrel, that's the move.
Bitcoin should run a node specifically because we don't trust, we verify. So you want to have your transactions running your own node for your extra layer of security. I think that's come for your own benefit instead of trusting others.
Oh, the decentralization of Bitcoin is the most important part for the benefit of the community. I think that when you run your own node, you are taking part, getting a vote in what Bitcoin is and what it will continue to be, and maintaining consensus of the network is the only way to maintain true decentralization.
Well, for me personally, I run a node because I don't want to have to trust someone else to know that I have the Bitcoin that my wallet says I do. I think the whole ethos of Bitcoin is being able to depend on yourself, self-sovereignty, so that's why I run a node.
Because that's the fucking whole point of Bitcoin, is to validate your own transactions. I mean, if you're not running a node, you're just trusting someone else to determine whether or not you receive payments. I mean, this is the first time in history that when you receive money with Bitcoin and you're using your own node, you can validate not only that the signature of the transaction was correct, everything was done, your node will automatically check the whole history of that coin to the moment it was mined, check the proof of work, and you can do that for free and you're not doing it. What the fuck are you doing, man? Just do it.
That's great. Thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. As always, please be sure to hit like, subscribe, and share. If you want to help the show in another way, you can hit up the previously mentioned sponsors down below. Or if you really liked what you saw or heard, you can hit me up with a Bitcoin Lightning Network tip on my tippin.me page. That is tippin.me/@BTC Sessions. With that, I'm out. Have yourselves a wonderful day or evening, wherever you may be. I'll see you guys next time for your daily session.
Hodl the Bitcoin.